This is the Tactical Muffin Top. Muffin Top, Muffin Top. Sunday night late chat. Guys, I'm going to let you know I'm tired. This isn't going to be a long chat, but I wanted to do one. To I didn't get any videos or anything out. I got a ton of content to put out. I'm busy with this house. We're trying to pull this house's construction from 100 years ago up to modern, and it's having some challenges at the moment, but we will get through it. um, didn't quite get where I wanted to be on it this weekend, but we're making some headway. Picked up a couple alternate projects on it that we didn't plan on, but that's okay. That's just how it goes sometimes. We got one watching. We're doing good. It's going to be a short chat. It's a chat that I wish that I had some people in the panel for because I think it's really important. It's kids. What's up yesterday, Pomade? We got Life. What's up, Alabama in the house? How you doing, brother? Kids are really, really hard. I have a young kid, and it can go in different age groups: under 5, under 10, teens, and then I think pretty much after that they could probably carry a pack, bug out. They won't panic as much, but a couple things that I wanted to touch on it are if you have young kids like I do, um, I've taught mine how to use the Slishman. Eduardo Espinosa, what's up, bro? I taught mine how to use the Slishman. And I think when he gets older, when he can actually carry a backpack panel for his backpack. But, you know, he has to be able to know when to use it and not mess with stuff. Eduardo said 4. Nice. Really, like the rule of thumb is 20% of the kids' weight. Well, 20% of like 40, 50 pounds, guys, isn't much more than like your water bottle and a jacket or a coat. You know what I mean? Maybe a small blanket in there, maybe a toy with it. Half-ass ready. What's up, brother? You want an invite? Let me know. And this goes for grandkids too. It's a super hard topic, and I wanted to bring it up because people talk about prepping and they're like, "Hey, I have this figured out. I have this figured out." They have what you got going figured out, and I stack what I've been stacking deep and as hard as I can for a long time. And um, dynamics shift when you have a kid in the house, right? So trying to get things for him and realizing that um, whilst before back surgery I couldn't probably carry him, I can now. But me, I'm working on my body, getting it back up to kind of where I was physically. Um, no, you're good, half-ass. Dom, do you want a link, brother? Um, the the eventuality is can you pick up your kid? Because if they're under 10, you're going to be carrying your kid for whatever your normal distance home is. If you swing by and drop your kid off at daycare or grandma and grandpa's or the in-laws, whatever, or babysitter, and SHTF happens and you take a couple extra hours, and whatever it could be a storm, it could be a big thing around here is fires. That's another topic I want to discuss. um, it was this or the fires what I was really going to get into tonight, and I didn't bounce anything off of anybody. I just um, honestly wasn't even going to do a chat tonight. I am dragging my ass tired tonight, guys. We worked really hard on the house, trying to get it ready, and we ran into some problems, and that's just how it goes. You know, that's the name of the game when you're um, nice half-ass ready. Well, if you don't have somebody, I would love to hop in with that. It's a super hard topic because it's one that's not really covered And everybody says, "Oh, it's real easy, 20%." Like your pet can carry whatever 20 or 15% of their body weight. You get like a little vest for your pet, and they can carry some food in like a collapsible water bowl. They're not carrying much else. You know what I mean? Um, you're good, Dom. The issue with it is you need to, and Justin B and I have hit on it a couple times. A really good thing to have in your vehicle for it is one of those collapsible wagons. That is like my top 10 for kiddos bugging out because A, it makes them mobile. B, you can throw some other materials that you have in the car with it. So, you throw your get home bag and maybe like an umbrella, the couple blankets that you keep in the seat, under the seat, or you grab like your case of water, or if you throw some trail mix, whatever you have. Like in the summertime when it's hot, we throw an extra case of water in, right? Or if I'm going, what's up, Pat? If I'm going out of town, I have an extra case of water. I have an extra get home bag. I have, depending on how far I get, I plus up a long gun. Like that's a lot of weight. And when you think about a kid under 10, they ain't gonna walk a couple miles. You're gonna be picking the kid up and you're gonna be bouncing them back and forth, hopefully with somebody with you. If not, you're a single parent or it happens and you're the only parent with them, you're gonna be carrying that kid a long time. So either you're gonna A, carry it, and if they're really young, look at like the tactical dad like carriers where you can carry the kid like in the front of you. Because you're not gonna want to walk home with a car seat, like like if they're an infant size age and you have to walk home with a car seat plus like your get home bag, you are gonna be wiped. And if you have to carry water on top of that, dude, that is a ton of weight. Um, the big thing with kids is they're really not going to carry a lot. And Pat, I know you're over the road and stuff, and now you may need to implement this into your grandkids. Not to put you out there like that, but your kids are grown and can handle their shit now. You need to. This is what I'd recommend for a kid. They need to pack their bag with you, and it'd be nice if it was like an old Schwack school backpack, so it's something they're used to. And maybe you could even, if you wanted to harden it up, you could do some modifications. You could cut the zippers off and put paracord there. You could take some of that bed liner, put it in the bottom to kind of waterproof it and harden it up a little bit. Um, but some kids, like, the basics for preparedness are you take a stainless steel water bottle, a lighter, and a pocket knife. Okay, the kid's only going to really be able to carry one of those things. A kid under 5'10", you know, probably maybe could do the pocket knife and the lighter, but there's no way that you're getting around with a younger kid, with two of those things. Um, I had a Topaz tactical dad carrier with a molly pack in the back. Yeah, see, Dom knows. The wagon is the savior for that, and or like a collapsible stroller slash bike. That has been the MVP for us. Is we've had like a bike and it has like a shade over it and it can carry, like, we can loop his backpack on it and then like throw a couple things in the basket underneath. But he has officially outgrown that bike. So now we are looking for another solution. And um, we did cut that wagon for a little bit for space because my wife just moving it around and she got angry, kind of like moving around my bag. But it's back, it's back in. So I don't know if you've considered any of that, Pat. What's up,
Does
Waffle?
does your dude have pneumatic tires or are they solid rubber?
The bike was actually like a rubberized plastic kind of mix. I don't know what you call it, but
Okay.
it did okay. It wasn't like hauling on grass or gravel, but it was mobile. No, you're good, Lawfully. This is a hard chat. It's kiddos, and I'm gonna probably specifically under 10, and if you're in the age bracket, appropriate grandkids, right? Especially if you have family members, mag members that aren't prepping related. Like the fires here have woken up some of my family. Like, they lost their ranch. They lost their entire farm. It burned down half of their house. Their stables are gone. They lost all their horses. They lost their entire cattle herd. Like, yeah, insurance might cover it, but what are you going to do for the rest of the year with no income? And what are you going to do for next year without calves? Like, they lost the ranch. You know what I mean? The one generation of cows is gone. You're not going to have calves the next year to breed. So you're not going to be able to have the, anyway, we're not doing a fire chat. That's the next big one I'm doing. But regardless, they've lost all that. So you have to bug out sometimes. Sometimes it's nature. In this case, maybe it's nature. Who knows?
I think when it comes to kids, like some sort of running stroller or something like that is like non-negotiable. And if you can find something that has like solid tires, non-pneumatic tires,
Mm-hmm.
but then also I wouldn't like kit the whole thing out completely. Like have everything in bags ready to grab and go. Because if you need to bolt in a direction where that thing's not going to go, you need to be able to just grab your stuff and run.
Yep. I agree. Dom said sleds and kick sleds are to move in the snow territory for winter, but I have a collapsible wagon. Justin B posted at the beginning of winter. Half-ass says he has the collapsible wagon, but it does. It takes up some space, don't it? And yeah, a stroller's great. And the back of the wife's Jeep, that's the whole back of the Jeep. You know what I mean? So if we're going to get just a grocery run, we take it out. Now, if we're going to go to like a zoo or something, or we're going further out, we take it and try and figure it out. But man, it is some Tetris shit.
Do you have a roof rack?
Yeah.
Think you could throw one of those pods on top of there and just leave it?
Nah. I mean, I could. We did end up getting a hitch extension for our last big trip. So that helped. But that's also because I came back with 4 boxes of MREs for dirt cheap. So, yeah.
I mean, we did that all the time. Like every summer, we'd run up to Indiana and Ohio, where my family was,
Mm-hmm.
and we were turtle shelling it the whole way up there.
Yeah.
And it was like a family turtle shell. We would, coordinate, and my mom would use it, her sister would use it, or my uncle would use it. And they make slick ones that aren't a giant air dam. It looks like a torpedo these days. It'd be perfect to keep some emergency stuff in, blankets, the stroller.
Right. But at the end of the day is you have to be able, like, and I've even kicked around, especially for people that just have a car, foldable scooters. And you could do like a foldable scooter with like a fanny pack and a sling pack. They're like the fanny pack on the front of the scooter and then the sling pack on you or whatever, Is it better than nothing? Oh, yeah. Is it the best? No. But like if you have a car and you got 4 people in the car, 2 kids, 2 adults, you're not getting enough bikes for everybody in there unless you're all riding unicycles. You know what I mean? And even then, you're not getting anything else.
It's got wheels too, so you could just slop stuff on it and push it. It's a lot better than carrying a 40-pound backpack. Is just to push a 40-pound backpack on some wheels. Yeah. And as much uphill as you walk, there's a whole lot of downhill that you don't need to walk.
Yeah. Somebody's telling Pat to check your window. That's weird. Pat's probably very well armed at the moment. Lawfully, how you doing, buddy? I know it's late. Sorry. Tried to give you a heads up by text, and I know you wanted a heads up on the topic, but I've just been grinding this week, man. I'm really trying. I thought that I seen the end of the finish line for this project, and it was going to be a couple weeks, and we might have another week or 2 on top of what I wanted for my timeline. So,
test. Can you hear me?
Testes are in your mouth. Folding and hold 2. Yeah. Nice.
Well, before it devolves into walking and strollers, there's trailers and campers. You want to start at the start.
Yeah. And, you know, having some cachets along the way here and there. Just think of if the absolute worst were to happen, a T attack pops off, whatever, civil unrest. Okay. The big problem is your kid knows which parent will panic. And so if my wife's panicking, she looks at me, and then that's when I take over on some stuff just to talk to the kid calm. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when it's like an overload, and that's like a good thing to have, is like knowing your partner if you have it, you know, because I know there's single folks out there. It really helps knowing how to cover each other's weaknesses and having a nonverbal look that you can give each other. Or you also, I think that everybody should implement in a security word for your family. It goes with the child trafficking as well, but it's a big thing. If, you know, for the child trafficking part of it, if somebody's like, hey, your mom told me to pick you up, I'm her friend, blah, 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 get in my car. If you practice with your kid a couple times and say safety word, and that person doesn't know it, they know to either go to a teacher, like a uniformed law officer, or a big one that not a lot of people talk about, that I see a lot of people that work in like the sex trafficking thing, is go to a woman with kids. If you can't find a cop or a teacher, go to like if you're in Walmart or whatever,
Go to another mom.
Go to another mom, yeah, because the mom is not going to let somebody walk off with a kid when the kid's, you know, anxious and is like, hey, that I don't know this person. That mama bear is going to come out still. You know what I mean? I mean, just saying.
Or bearded guys. Kids
Yeah.
love bearded guys.
Well, I mean, I would prefer a mom because there's a lot of weird dudes, beard or not. I mean, there's 3 of them talking right here. So, but yeah.
And you're the only child I've ever harmed.
Well, I appreciate that. My wife would eat a spine. Yeah. See, Dom knows 100% go to a mom. Yeah.
There's a subject that I think there might not even be a real answer to. But what are you going to do, like, if you're in a situation where you need to be quiet? Like,
you need to have a drill.
Can you, like, trick your kid somehow into, like, not throwing a fucking tantrum at that moment?
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes kids, you know, they can be the best in the world, and then, you know, they step on something. And something doesn't go their way and they cry or something,
and they're having a time. Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah. If it's like super serious and like you hear rounds popping off, probably a little bit, you know, different, but yeah. I mean, that's something you really got to work with. When it's super like, something super serious and dire, you need to have like a, like, hey, if I say, you know, like something you're never going to say out in the wilderness, you know, in normal passings, like, I don't know, Benjamin Franklin, some shit like a turnip, unless you're lawfully, that doesn't really come up in my family's language, you know. But like if you have something like that, or like something that great grandma used to say, or like an inside family joke, you know what I mean? Like something like that. There was a movie, it was on Netflix a while ago, where like the mom was running and she had 2 kids, abusive parent, and their code word was rutabaga. Right? Who the fuck's going to say rutabaga in modern day? None. And she looked at the kids before she said, do you remember when we set up the secret safety word or whatever? And the kids both looked at her. She made eye contact with both the kids and they said yes. And they were in like a store, and there was a pedo or a dude after them, right? And she looked them both in the eyes and said rutabaga. And they all turned and went as quickly as they could to the car. You know what I mean? Or wherever. Or parsnip, yeah, whatever. Parsnip. Who doesn't like rutabaga? Thank you, Dom.
I don't know.
I think once your kid's old enough, you have to like turn it into a game.
Right.
Like this is the super secret secret agent quiet game or something like that. But if they're like super young, like nonverbal, like I remember they explored it a little bit in The Walking Dead. Those whisperers, like one of them had a baby and it started to cry and it called the walkers over, like zombies. And the leader just looked at her, like shrugged her shoulders, and the lady put the baby down and walked away from it.
Yeah.
It was ultimately rescued because it's Hollywood, but
Right.
and I feel like I've seen in another movie where a situation come down where a baby was crying and the monsters were coming or whatever, and when the danger had passed, the mother had smothered the baby.
Yeah, that's hopefully we never get to that point, but yeah, I mean, or it could be a kid with a disability. It's really hard. Trying to get learning levels through that stuff. I mean, it's whatever, but this is what I think needs to happen for your kids. Bad bag. I don't know. It can be for whatever, right? Just so you have one, a bug out bag, get home bag, whatever. They need to have a change of shoes and socks because kids wear Crocs, kids wear sandals, kids wear snow boots. When your feet get wet or you're wearing them Crocs, you need to have a change of shoes. Or even we've had it happen where a shoe shit out on us and we went to the backup shoes to have them have a pair of shoes. Like, shit's not made the best, especially kids shit. That's why you go through a new pair of shoes every 2 to 3 months because they're garbage. The patches, the snaps rip on them. The cheap Chinese pleather that holds them together, whatever it is, the soles of them, for whatever reason, the kids can just destroy shoes.
Probably skip the Spider-Man shoes that blink every time you walk too.
Yeah, for sure. Acetine, what's up? You guys got one that you can think of? I got a list in my head. I wish I wrote it down, but
I've been kind of going.
No, because I just read the title a second ago.
I know. I didn't.
Let me elaborate on what I was saying. Is not to.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating you smother your child or do something to make them be quiet.
Right.
I think
Yes, you
if
are.
you're in that situation, like you got to take the kid and run.
Yeah.
If you're with a group, like pick the fastest, strongest runner, or mom or dad is probably going to be one of those, and they have to take the baby and run. You can't compromise the entire group. You just got to take the baby and run.
Right. And the problem with that is if you're a man, you should be in the defending mindset of your family. That's your tribe. That's your people. You are the father figure. That is your family to shepherd. If you cannot defend them, you're not a man. You know what I mean? If you are deciding and settle down and have a family and you have a child, that is 100% yours. That is your responsibility, no matter what danger you face. If I'm facing 10 guys with AKs, looks like I'm going in front of them with my EDC and sending my family the other direction. You know what I mean? It'll be a glorious battle, and I make a good bullet sponge. You know what I mean? It is what it is. When you're going to be,
they may get me, but the coroner will have to unbury me from a mountain of brass.
Yeah, like it's a scenario where you're not getting out of it. Hope that the people that you send away get out of it and do what you can to give them time. But on the other hand, are you typically stronger than your significant other? Yes. how good are you at shooting while holding 50 pounds in front of you? It's maybe a fucking drill people should do is shooting with a kid. Like, obviously not like that, but like
a dummy baby.
Yeah, like grab a backpack
like
with
a CPR baby.
Plate. Yeah, or no, just grab like a backpack with a 45-pound plate and draw your firearm and shoot offhanded, one-handed.
Well, that was, you segued into what a little bit I had to contribute. That was my whole thing as far as home defense readiness and whatnot after the kiddo came along.
Yeah.
That was when the shotgun went away, and it just turned into, okay, I've just got to be proficient with this handgun because I want to be able to be in control of him.
Right.
I want to be able to pick him up. And that was motivation, kind of where you're at with your youngin'. This motivation to like, okay, I've got to be strong enough to like control this child with one arm, at least until he's old enough to understand instructions.
Astatine, I don't know. Regardless, if you're raising them as your kids, even though the gal cheated on you, whatever, they're your kids. If it's your household, your family, you can pick and choose family. It doesn't have to be blood. Thoughts on neighbor walking to milk my, okay, that's cute. Man, YouTube trolls, man.
If the kid thinks of you as dad, then you're the fucking dad.
Yeah, no shit. I don't care whatever color you are,
It's where I'm at, Astatine.
Yeah.
I know the law may say different, but
my dad is a piece of shit. My stepdad is a great man. Just saying, he didn't have to fucking be there, but he did. He was. So, but now it's up to me to break that generational cycle, right? Well, it's not generational, but you know what I mean.
My dad was fucking horrible. And the semi joke that I tell all the time is like, my dad made me a great dad by showing me exactly what not to do.
Right. It takes a man to be a dad. It doesn't take a man to ditch and run and be, it's a choice. Anyway, so back to the kid. You need to have socks and shoes. Okay. If your kid's young enough, you need to have a change of clothes. Honestly, a change of clothes isn't bad anyway, especially if it's getting hot or whatever. Take off that sweaty shirt, extra shirt and shorts, or they don't weigh a lot. Maybe like a windbreaker jacket that's kind of waterproof with a hood. Earplugs. They're cheap. You get them from work relatively free at most locations. If not, you can buy a 10-pack of earplugs for a couple, $2 or $3 at Wally World. They don't cost a lot. They don't weigh nothing. But if you're in a scenario where an active shooter is happening, that stuff's loud. And we might be used to gunfire. A hunting family might be used to gunfire. But when you're in a store, you're in a building, that shit is loud. So
Can you get your kid to use foamies?
I don't know. That's something you'll have to practice. If not, then you need to have some razor walkers.
Because
for everybody,
walker razors,
whatever.
We tried to get my youngest grandson to put foamies in because he was having like an ear infection or something, and like any noise. I don't remember what the situation was exactly, but we tried to give him foamies, even though it was going to help him. There was no way in hell that was going in his ear.
Right. And see, that's something you're going to have to practice. Like, you don't want this to be.
You got an ear infection.
Yeah. Well, you don't want the first time they have to use anything in there to be an emergency time. So kids like repetition, kids like some structure. So give it to them. Teach them like, hey, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this. And it can be, hey, we're going to go to the dirt track and we're going to watch the cars run. And it's going to be really loud, buddy. You're going to want these in, or we're going to go to a baseball game or a football game or whatever, and it's going to be really loud.
Get him the monster truck.
Yeah.
Headphones or ear muffs.
Yeah. I mean, some walkers, razors. That's the big thing. If you think that you're going to pew inside of your house and you're going to be super duper John Wick about it, everybody needs a set of those on your bed, on your nightstand, on your headboard, wherever wherever your ears be laid down for the evening, you need to have some ear pro, even if you have a suppressor, which is a huge plus for a suppressor, right?
I think in that situation, I'm just going to have to take the ear damage.
Okay, but you are taking that choice. What about a kid? What about your wife? What about anybody else staying in the house? You know what I mean? Like, you got to have ear pro for people. And if they hear that first thing, it might scare the shit out of them. They're going to wake up, and if they hear something loud again, they're going to put the fucking ear pro on so they can actually maybe hear.
Either I had that pushed in close enough that it was just earmuffs, or I just doxed myself. I don't know which, but oh well.
Probably both. Some sort of ear protection. I like the foamies just for weight, and that's something that if you work in a non-permissive environment, I carry them at work. It weighs nothing. If you're I don't remember who it was. Was that Randy Butternubs who was asking what to carry for your EDC? That people are worried about active shooters. I never ever hear anybody say they have ear pro on them. Guys, foamies don't weigh anything. Just carry a pack that's sealed. Yeah, see? Just carry a pack that's sealed. If you're in an area you think is going to have an issue with an active shooter, have some fucking ear pro. It doesn't weigh a fucking thing.
For like kids and stuff, okay. But I don't agree. Like, you need to have every sense at your disposal.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have. Oh, it wasn't Randy Butternut. Sorry, I don't remember who that was. That old man butt wrinkles, maybe.
I wouldn't want ear pro in that instance, just because when the authorities arrive, I don't want to look like one of the dudes, you know, because more than one of those guys has walked in with ear pro on. That guy that shot up that Walmart with the AK a few years ago, he walked in with his like earmuffs on, his transition lenses grinning ear to ear.
Foamies, bro.
I understand, but like
the cops aren't going to be like, "Oh man, what's this little orange dot in your ear?" They're going to be like, "Get the fuck out."
Like I admired the intention, and you're right, they don't weigh anything, so it doesn't cost you anything to have them. But I really don't think in the like the seconds that count, you're gonna like dick with sticking your ear plugs in. Like, I'm with Pat. I would rather like risk my hearing being permanently damaged to until the moment happens, not be diminished of senses. I'd hate to get clapped in the back because I didn't hear the guy's footsteps, kind of thing. You know, like
you'll hear enough. We're talking about kids. We're talking about.
But then there's
kids. If you're locked in the bathroom taking a piss or whatever,
I'm not taking the time to put the earplugs in kids' ears. Like, we're just running out the fire exit. Deuces.
You fucking might not
get off the X.
You might have to fucking be in a room for a minute or in a school room. You know what they're gonna do when they have the ear pro in? They're gonna be able to slow down and think for a minute. They're gonna be able to think a little bit more than just being panicked by the loud fucking noises, especially a younger kid or an autistic kid.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the right thing to do would be, because if you are in a situation where there's gunshots going off, if you don't have ear pro in, you could have diminished hearing. I mean, you could be hearing ring.
Yeah, and Rips, right? You know, they got the wireless earbuds. I know what Raycon and Walker both, and a couple other shooting companies have ear pro that looks like just earbuds that cancel out high decibel. That works great for an adult.
You know? I don't know. I think the hearing damage still occurs, but if you go back and look at all those, they used to call it auditory exclusion. You go back to all those like non-vets and before, and those guys in the heat of the moment don't remember the gunshot noise. I mean, if somebody touched off their M1 Garand like muzzle right by your head, maybe, or the artillery shells, but like, are all the old hunters, that used to shoot or that still shoot without hearing protection, that like you don't remember the after you shoot?
Yes.
And I know that the difference is that's
half deaf in my left ear from it, but
I know, I 100% believe that the hearing damage happens, but I'm saying that like your brain filters it out in the moment.
Okay.
Like you have that auditory exclusion.
I wanted to be.
I know we are, but
half an hour. We're past that. Okay, we're back on the kid thing. Okay, so fuck the ear pro. Ear pro sucks for kids. Fuck under 10-year-olds. I guess you can be deaf. All right, so we got we got socks and shoes. We got a change of clothes. We got a small windbreaker, some sort of jacket, maybe a hoodie, right? I guess no earplugs for you guys. Jesus,
I
you
have
need
them.
to,
They're free.
you need to have them have a water bottle that they like and they pick out. Because here's the important thing: if they have their favorite water bottle, they're gonna want to actually use it and drink out of it. And it might be a cheap $5-8 Baby Shark one, or it might be like a Dora the Explorer, or you know, whatever, Curious George, friggin' Power Rangers, whatever the new flavor of the week is for kids. You know, Bluey, freaking Blue's Clues, whatever. You know,
Paw Patrol Dog Bowl.
no. Whatever is the flavor. Oh, Pat kicked himself. He must have had an issue with his phone. So whatever that may be, it doesn't have to be tactical. Would I prefer a stainless steel water bottle? Yes, but you carry that. You carry the boiling device. The kid doesn't know. He ain't gonna be able to make the fire and boil their own water. No old men butt wrinkles. You were not carrying that. You need to let them go through and pick one toy and or book or something that's going to help them in a stressful situation. Say you are bugged out overnight and you're sleeping in a not normal atmosphere. You know, they're not at home. Blah blah blah. If you're spending it in a ditch in a unfamiliar building, whatever, they need to have some sort of comfort item. You're so helpful. If you're sleeping in an abandoned Walmart, if you're sleeping in a broke down RV, I don't know, in this apocalyptic world that apparently is hilarious to Lawfully right now.
No, it's Old Man Butt Wrinkles. I'm sorry. I
I
thought
know.
I
I
was
already
muted.
told him no. If it's a book, a stuffed animal, a toy, an action figure, something that they like,
You're wanting comfort items
yeah.
for morale.
But let them.
Soothing.
They need to pick it. They need to pick it and put it in the bag because it's going to be something that they will actually go to. You know, if you go through and pick a toy out, it might be like the one of 10 toys that they're not going to give a shit about, and that's not going to.
I give you an example. For my kid, there was a stuffed dog that I had when I was little, and I gave it to him. And it was significant to me, and then as he got older, it was significant to him. So, like, that would be the one thing.
Yeah.
That would have been.
I was saying that the kiddo needs to pick out the one thing to put in the bag for like a calming item. So like a toy, a book, something that they pick that they'll actually enjoy. So if they're sleeping overnight and you're in SHTF curled up in a drainage ditch somewhere, they have that thing. It's getting pretty real with all this drone stuff and container missiles and drone launchers. Is it? I haven't watched the news all weekend.
Dude, it's like.
I know we threatened to cut out
warfare.
their power. That's all I know. I know there's a deadline on it. I don't know what that is, but
I don't know if he's talking, if he means like specifically Ukraine or Iran, or if he means just like period, like the new face of warfare, you know.
Yeah, it could be.
Like,
Guess
this
what?
is more
They're probably
terrifying.
not coming after you and your
To
family.
be honest, the combination of like AI and biometrics and drones now, like, this is more terrifying than ever because it's exceptionally precise and simultaneously impersonal. You know, like used to, like an artilleryman, like he knows that he's trained in on a grid coordinate and he launches that 155 or whatever and knows that, like, all right, we just smoked some dudes, right? Or your bombardier pilot, like, he dropped bombs over Berlin and you knew, like, yeah, I just killed men, women, and children to get the enemy. But like, because he didn't have to see it in person, it didn't matter. But now, you know, and that was taken to the next level with drones. Like, yeah, you're watching a dude run around like on FLIR or whatever that you just hit with a Hellfire missile. But now we've even amped it up to the point where, like, it's all AI driven. that was the reason that somebody in the chat that's smarter than me knows that the one company pulled out of the government contract was they were like, no, we're not going to let you use our AI to like pick targets and initiate hits. Like it's one thing for us to use it to like help you like put together your strategy, but it's another to like use it to execute.
Right.
But like war has become super impersonal. P's and
No
R's right now.
sensitivity,
Impersonal.
no humanity.
Yeah, like 200 years ago, men had to meet on the battlefield and like trade iron and blood, and now it's like ordering a McFlurry. Like it's just like they
Right,
got the
the
easy
machine's
button.
down. We get
Like
it.
you can kill kill a guy from halfway around the world with $1 million drone and a $500,000 missile, or vice versa, whatever. I don't know. Pat's back. Pat, say intelligent shit. I'm drunk. Pour one out for Justin.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna say whatever the last. Forget that. We're talking about kids. Okay. So Pat,
Protect the
I don't
children.
know how much you heard. I'm not worried about container ship drones attacking me and my family on coming home or in a scenario like I've put out tonight.
Yeah.
So I said a toy that they pick, that the kiddo picks and puts in a book, whatever that may be, a comfort item, a blanket, whatever that is for that kid, right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It could be. Anything on that, Pat?
Shell. Turtle power.
Okay, no Pat.
Pat has
A small
Pat has
flashlight.
his Teddy Roosevelt bear. He's muted. He's unmuted. Go for Pat.
I was saying as long as it's something reasonable, like I guess I would prefer I'm gonna go murder a dog.
That's good.
I would
Weighs
prefer
less than a pound and isn't loud.
yeah, like a stuffy that can just get put into their sleeping bag with them.
Right. Not like
Stuffy. Did you just become British?
No. We say that. Nothing like a battery.
Who's we?
Gizmo. Me and my household say stuffy. Thank you.
Chat. Who's we?
Oh my God. All right, next I have a small Olight, the one that they give away for free all the time whenever you're a member and they have a sale. It's otherwise $10, $15. It runs on a AAA. The kiddo likes it. He knows how to run it. He has a couple of them. I've given one to everybody. Has one on their fucking keychain in my mag. We have them everywhere. Say whatever you will about Olight. I don't care. It's free. You pay the couple dollars shipping. I get 10, 15 of them, and I give them away in stocking stuffers for Christmas. Guess what? That's me. If you don't like Olight, you don't like a flashlight that works on a AAA, go to Walmart and buy one. I don't care what it is. A small flashlight for a kiddo.
Oh yeah, got to give the kid a flashlight. They
Yeah,
got to learn
preferably
when
one-
to use it, not to
preferably
use
one-
it. Sorry.
Yeah, preferably one that's not super bright.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Because-
only a little 90 lumen, and it's bright enough. We trick or treat with them. They work good. They're not going to get hit by a car.
Kids like to shine light exactly where it's not supposed to be.
Right. And you need to have the conversation of when to not ND. Don't laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
I know what you're laughing at. But yeah, so I think all that stuff, you're going to carry the shelter if, get home, whatever. It's not the kiddo's responsibility. You want it to be light. So if they do say you have to walk an imaginary 20 miles to get home, you're probably carrying them for about 17 of those 20 miles. So you need to figure that out. You need to have a way to either carry them or a way to haul them via something with wheels, whatever that may be for you. It could be a stroller, bike, scooter, wagon, whatever, shopping cart. Like if you're going past the Walmart on your way home and you're in mile 3 out of 20, I'm snagging a shopping cart out of the parking lot and I'm going to keep going. You know what I mean? Anyway, like whatever it takes, you know what I mean? Be physically fit. That is like a super big thing that the prepping community thinks. There's a whole bunch of fat asses on the internet that can't walk 2 miles. Guys, I'm a fat ass on the internet and I can walk 7 miles a night after working my ass off at fucking midnight and then come home and go to bed at 1 o'clock and wake up at 6 and do it all over again. You can find the fucking time. Just go do it.
Yeah.
You can get fit. Walking is really not that bad. When it was cold the other day and I ran for half it because I was freezing my nips off, it was a little bit different story. I mean, I was cutting through my freaking vest. That's all I had on. I was wearing my clothes that were paint schwacked and had holes in them and everything.
Oh,
It was
TMT,
freezing.
do you have filters set on your chat? Because I was trying to use the hashtag fit people are harder to kill,
I don't have
which
it.
was started.
No.
Well, that was started by James Yeager years ago. Y'all use that hashtag. Hashtag fit people are harder to kill. There we go.
Ascentine just
Look
got an
that up.
e-bike so I can handle hills till I get stronger. Nice. Yeah, and if you could have an e-bike for everybody in your family at this time, that'd be awesome. Most people drive like a mid-size SUV or like max a Suburban or a truck. Most of the time we drive the wife's SUV because it's just a little bit nicer than my truck. My truck, I have enough to camp in everything in my toolbox. But guess what? If we're walking home, I'm not taking probably most of that shit. If we're stuck and stranded and that's where we're at is the vehicle is home base, yeah, we're going to set up as bougie as we can get. But I'm going to go home to my better shit if I can.
And it's not about being Chuck Norris. It's just about being better than you were yesterday.
Right. And I mean, Chuck Norris is dead now, but
I know. He's not dead. He let
somebody else hang out.
Yeah, death came for him 2 years ago. He just finally got the gumption to ask.
Right.
I don't know.
The Reaper came for him and he said, "All right, I'm taking your job now." And the Reaper gave him the cloak and the scythe and said, "Yep."
Yeah. He was a good guy. And he was strong in his faith. As much as a Hollywood actor can be strong in their faith.
Right.
That makes sense. Talking about flashlights, the friends of the NRA got me for a flashlight last night.
That was dumb.
No, it goes to a good cause. It doesn't go to Wayne LaPierre, who's out now.
That's good.
But it goes to their like youth sports and that stuff. So I got a new Streamlight hat light. I was thinking it'd probably be good for one of your giveaways someday.
There you go.
Or who knows? If I get to 1,000 subs, it might be good for my giveaway.
We're gonna get you to 1,000 subs. You're just gonna have to wait about a couple years, like I did.
6 years later.
40 years later. All right, y'all. I didn't want to do a long chat, and here we are, already almost double what I wanted to do. For me, reiterate, it's athletic shoes and socks for the kiddos backpack. A backpack that they've already kind of used and would be fine, honestly. If it's a Bluey backpack or whatever backpack, guess what?
Probably extra undies because kids make a mess. Like adults make a mess when they're under stress and whatnot. Like grown men, airborne rangers piss themselves in gunfights. So to think that children are not going to have an accident when the world comes to an end.
Right.
There you go. There was my 2 cents all night long. There it was.
It's okay. So I had a pair of shoes and socks. Okay, the next one was a change of clothes. You have the underwear in there. Right. So backpack, change of clothes, change of shoes, a jacket, something preferably waterproof so that way it can withstand some rain with a hood. So like a windbreaker style one. I like the Gore-Tex style when I'm picking out the kids stuff. Kids clothes are junk. I don't know if you guys have actually went and touched kids clothes. The quality is not there. Even if like some kids like, oh, I have a Nike hoodie on, and it's like, cool. It literally feels like the same texture as the shitty Walmart one. You know what? My kid's not wet and soaked like your kid in a Nike hoodie because he has like a waterproof coat. So just saying, like, kids clothing stuff.
Except for that, a lot of times the Gore-Tex treated or the Gore-Tex fiber clothing also holds in the moisture, so
Yeah.
it's not great for all 4 seasons. Like you get
I,
the Gore-Tex boots and it holds in all the juices. Like, yeah, you're waterproof, but it also means that you like on a hot, humid summer day, you're all soupy footed.
yeah. I don't know. It keeps the wind out here. I wear it for, most of winter for me. Usually gets me
I
in and
know
out of the buildings. So
your AO differs. I'm just giving you the like swamp ass 2 cents.
yeah, yeah. I'm just saying. Get something that's a little bit better for kids. Keep it in there so they have it. Um, a item that they pick as a stress reliever, something to make them feel calm and more normal in an unnormal situation. They'll have one toy, one book, one something that is not battery operated that they can enjoy and play with and have some comfort and normality that they pick, right? So they have some influence in their bag. A small flashlight that they can operate, that they cannot ND with, and keep it under 20% of their body weight, and then have them carry it around. And the couple things that we mentioned earlier about like the safe word and learning how to say no and stuff like that to potential sex traffickers and stuff. There's a book series called like My Body, My Choice or something like that. It's like a kid book. It teaches them how to say no. It teaches that grown-ups do not need help. They do not need you to help them find a puppy or whatever. They were not going to ask a child for help. You need to, your private parts are your parts only. Nobody else can touch them. It's not okay. No secrets from parents, stuff like that, stuff like that. So having that
Man,
conversation with your kid.
even outside of prepping, like that's a big thing. That like no secrets from your parents. If you cultivate a relationship of trust where your kid can confide in you no matter what,
Right.
which is not to say that you just approve of every poor decision or derogatory words. But if you cultivate a relationship where you don't overreact and you provide your kids the opportunity to confide in you their concerns or their issues or their thoughts, like that is such a big thing.
Right.
Like where at least they can communicate their thoughts or their feelings or their issues to you. Like that goes a long way just even in regular everyday life. Like do that, TMT. As a guy that's got a decade head start on you, and do that.
I agree.
And it's tough sometimes because sometimes they say some like really like out of left field shit, and you're like you want to overreact about it, but you got to be like measured. You know,
Right.
you almost have to give them an answer like they're somebody else's kids in the moment. Like you got to give like the legal eagle answer, not the like you're my kid, you're my responsibility answer.
Right. You put on
But if
parent
you don't,
face and then like you kind of smirk at your wife or significant other, right? And you're like, talk about it later. You're like, oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. I can't believe you said that to that kid. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's that's a hard thing too sometimes because they say some really dumb stuff, and you have to not laugh at them because if you do, like if you break their soul, they won't ever, you know what I mean? They won't ever trust you again.
right.
It's tough.
Yeah. And he said a couple things, and I do like the pause thing where I have to cover my mouth because it'll give me away, but like I can hold eye contact under anything,
Yeah.
sexual tension, bad
I
stuff.
bet you can.
Yeah. But if my smart ass is smirking, they'll know. And so if I
Yeah.
need to like cover myself for a minute and give myself the okay, and then I'll be like,
Well,
all right, dad face.
in juxtaposition to my previous statement, like Pat said about his dad teaching him how to not be a dad.
Right.
When I was about I don't know 11 or 12, my dad confided, just in spoken conversation that like he just was tickled like whenever it came time to like spank me as a young kid that he and my mom both like had to try to not laugh because I would run around the house like screaming and crying. Like when the belt would come out, like I'd run around and like he'd have to catch me and get me by one arm or whatever, to spank me. And like evidently the wails that I would make, the overreaction to like getting like before the spanking happened, like the fear of it was worse than the actual punishment.
Right.
That she had to leave the room to laugh and that he had to like try real hard to not laugh while he was dealing the punishment, And it was like, what a dick. I can't count on one hand all the times I've spanked my kid because like we agreed that like when he was little, like we did, like we just before he was big enough to judicial punishment be a thing, or corporal punishment, whatever you call it, like spanking a kid being a thing. We decided like, no, we're not going to raise him to think that like getting hit is the right thing, like under
it's happened
the direst
enough
of circumstances.
it happens
like,
enough that if I get to 3, it's doom. So he will get it done by 2.5. He's like, okay, I definitely don't ever want that,
well,
And it's probably most fathers, but the mom's always like, "Do I need dad to come here and swat your butt?" And then you got to come in there and be like, "Are you not listening to your mother?" And then the kid's like, "Oh my god."
in the chat, old man butt wrinkles. That would be funny, except for my dad died over a year ago. So, haha.
Yeah, take that, old man butt wrinkles.
But I'm laughing about it because you were wrong. That's what you get as a longtime subscriber and listener for not remembering that my dad died a year ago.
Yeah, keep that shit on the wraps. Pat, you got any wisdom, or are you currently choke slamming a dog on the ground?
I wish.
It's okay, OMBW. We're all better off for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's up or down, but we're all better on this plane without him.
I mean, I had a different experience than most people probably have because my youngest was
okay.
Go.
I didn't want to unpack everybody's childhood trauma right now, but
no, my youngest was.
We're here. We may as well. If it makes a difference in somebody else's rearing.
Well, we're talking about raising kids and spanking, not spanking, and it really depends on the kid because my first 2 kids were fine, but my youngest, he had like oppositional defiance disorder, and you could smack him until your fucking hand falls off.
Beat him like a rented mule.
You like I had a warrant out for my arrest because I couldn't get my fucking kid to go to school. And there was nothing you could do to make him do it. So like it all really depends. And I'm coming around on the subject. Like some kids need the strict discipline and some kids don't.
Yeah, you got to be there and be present enough to know what's going to work for your kiddo. In other news, I took Justin B's advice. I picked up Homestead because it did drop on sale on Amazon. I'm supposed to be watching this right now with somebody so I can do a review video on this for you guys. So please let me go do this before I pass the fuck out because we worked our asses off this weekend. I'm going to go watch this movie with Codename Bondo, who has helped me work on this house. And we're going to go watch this movie. This was supposed to be a half-hour chat, and it is now an hour chat. I'm ending it. Please plan out stuff to do with your kids in an emergency. It doesn't have to be when super duper the mega volcano happens or all the nukes pop off. It can be everyday shit. It's practical. Kids' shoes crap out. Kids need a change of clothes for various reasons. Kids need whatever, an extra toy, a flashlight, whatever. That's all comfort items that go into a myriad of amazing things. No, lovely. A myriad of amazing things can be done with those few items in a backpack. And you can take it with you. You can give it to grandma in a vehicle. You can give it to, grandma, grandpa, or you can give it to uncle, whatever, whoever. If they need to pick up the kid, they have that amount of stuff. Plus, I'd also say like a snack or two. Let the kid pick out a snack or two, but you probably have that with them anyway. Just make sure that water's topped off. A snack or two. I put a Slishman in mine, but you know, an emergency happens. We're just going to
Case
be
they
booking
don't
it,
hush.
right? What?
Dumb VDG said, "Hit the like, you bastards."
Yeah. All right.
Bad
Like, share,
guys.
sub. I'm sorry, y'all. I have literally 8 videos sitting right here. I need to film. I just haven't had fucking time. I really haven't. I haven't not had one fucking time. I haven't had a moment to myself. I've been staying up until midnight every night, taking a shower, passing out, going to work, doing the same fucking thing the next day. I haven't even been cooking dinner half the time for myself. I've just been
Come over.
eating whatever the fuck, eating a small sandwich and sleep. I don't even care anymore. I'm trying to get the shit knocked out.
This food tastes like lack of product.
Yeah, I'm like,
lack of
let's just.
progress.
I just open a freaking thing of ramen noodles and put like Nutella on it and eat it and go to bed. Like it's sustenance. That's enough.
You
I
got you got 30 seconds for me to pimp out some Walther sales. The Walther Arms Shop's got a bunch of stuff on clearance. You can buy the PDP M2 subcompact mags, which is literally the same thing as a flush fit PDP or PPQ mag. You just throw the spacer away. They're $20. That's like less than half price. Get them.
Any closing statements? It's not Walter.
Prep what you eat what you prep. Y'all be nice.
Muffin Top and friends out. Deuces.
These neighbors